It is written in stone, an expression meaning something that's permanent. But in truth, the story of stone is a story of change. Even the rough skin of the rock we live on is changing slowly. Its ragged and crumbling surface has provided us with the foundation of human civilization. Rocks, minerals, crystals, gems. We wear them, work with them, walk on them. We even worship them. What is a rock? A cocktail of atoms combines to form crystals. Crystals combine to form minerals. Minerals combine to form rocks. From talisman to tool, from sandstone to silicon chip, the human story, as written in stone, is also a tale of change and transformation. For 4.5 billion years, the Earth has recorded its history in stone, an ongoing diary of change. Pressed between its pages, we find fossils like this leaf. Fossils aren't made overnight. The space once occupied by decaying fish is filled in by minerals. As layers accumulate over the centuries, the pressure eventually compacts the sediment into rock and a fossil, a stone memorial to the fish. Fossils provide a rare glimpse of some of the earliest forms of life to thrive on Earth. The permanence of stone and the towering stature of mountains have always inspired awe. In Australia, Aborigines consider Ayers Rock to be sacred. While some rocks were revered, others were put to work. Simple pebble tools have been found in some of the earliest human graves. Stone axes dating back 700,000 years. 300,000 years ago, flint became the stone of choice. Because flint splits in any direction and fractures to a sharp edge, it was perfect for tools and weapons. From the earliest crude choppers to scrapers, knives and arrowheads, flint became a Stone Age sensation. Although the human use of fire goes back hundreds of thousands of years, the first known use of flint as a fire-making tool was around 7000 BC. Some Native Americans considered flint to be a god. A great fire at the center of the Earth was one of the first notions of our planet's core. Today, we know Earth's center has a solid inner core about 1,200 kilometers wide. The inner core is encased in a molten outer core, which in turn is surrounded by the solid mantle. And surrounding that entire package is the Earth's crust, the rocky wrapping on which we live. Even with the most modern technology, we've only been able to probe a few kilometers into the crust. We've only scratched its surface, which is littered with stone mysteries. The great megaliths of the late Stone Age were erected by people who left no written records. At Carnac in France, several thousand megaliths arranged in orderly rows lead the way for over a kilometer to stone tombs and burial grounds. It's been said that the people who erected these stones believed the souls of the dead liked to come out and take the air. Each vertical stone, or menhir, was not only a perch where the soul could rest, but a marker to point the way back. Stonehenge, the first rock group to achieve worldwide fame, is believed to have been used for both worship and astronomy. Like any rock that's been around for a few billion years, the Earth's surface has seen its share of wear and tear. Forces from within also shape the Earth's crust. The Earth's internal heat pushes and pulls on the crust. Magma is a mineral soup of boiling rock, which can slowly push up through seams to form ridges or explode onto the Earth's surface in volcanic eruptions. The Earth's crust is like a suit of armor that doesn't quite fit. In some places, the plates have been prized apart, leaving deep trenches. Although it takes millions of years, two plates pressing together can buckle upwards and form mountain ranges. Just as we had no knowledge of plate tectonics 50 years ago, the early Greeks didn't know the Earth was round. The center of their world was at Delphi in the Temple of Apollo. They believed the world was created from this navel stone, or omphalos, made of white marble. While volcanoes illustrate how internal forces can shape rock, the external forces of erosion also leave their mark. Wind and blowing sand carved Monument Valley in Arizona. Rainwater, actually a weak acid, can in time dissolve the minerals on a rock's surface. The tors of Dartmoor, England, were created when the softer minerals were dissolved away, leaving stone building blocks. Water's most renowned rock carving is the Grand Canyon. Cutting through layers of sandstone and limestone, the Colorado River has carved deep into the Earth's crust, exposing rock and fossils laid down 4 billion years ago. Few other places on Earth reveal as much about the planet's history. Equally effective, but more subtle, is the eroding power of temperature change. When water seeps into a rock's hairline cracks, then freezes, it expands the cracks. Repeated melting and refreezing eventually breaks the rock. The human species is not the only one to put rocks to work. A boulder, warmed by the sun, makes a heating pad for cold-blooded lizards. Birds don't have teeth to break up their food. They swallow their food whole, and it gets ground up further down the line by gizzard stones. As a digestive aid, parrots reach for chalky kaolin. We use kaolin in pottery, paper, and to give paint a matte finish. Long before humans knew the difference between matte and glossy, they were painting the walls of caves. Not only did rock provide the canvas, but also the paint. first paints were made from clays and minerals such as chalk and hematite, which were crushed to a powder and mixed with animal fat. What is the difference between a rock and a mineral? Minerals are defined by a distinctive chemical formula. As chocolate chip cookies are combinations, so rocks are combinations of minerals. Unlike a biscuit, minerals are constantly recycled. That process recombines them into 3 distinct rock types. When the minerals in magma cool and harden, they become igneous rock, from the Latin for fire. Minerals from igneous rocks are transported by wind and water. This sediment is deposited, compacted and cemented together in sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock bakes under more pressure and metamorphoses into metamorphic rock, which eventually turns back to magma. Limestone, a common sedimentary rock, can even contain shells embedded within it. Limestone caves are carved by water, dissolving the minerals out of limestone. Dripping water, redepositing the minerals, creates stalactites and stalagmites. Stalagmites grow up, stalactites grow down. When they meet, it's called an organ pipe. These limestone caves in Drulin, Ireland, offer a honeycomb of passages and underwater galleries to explore. Other members of the Sedimentary Rock Hall of Fame include the Travertine Terraces of Turkey, a natural wonder. The Pyramids of Egypt, monuments of limestone. And Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, another limestone splendor. By the advent of Judaism around 2000 BC, and then later Christianity, stones came to be revered rather than worshipped. In the Temple of Jerusalem, within the Holy of Holies, under the altar for burnt offering, is the rock which is believed to be the site of creation. This rock also seals up the hole that supposedly drained off the waters of the first great flood. Metamorphic means change, which is exactly what happens when sedimentary shale, subjected to pressure and heat, is transformed into slate, a metamorphic rock. When rock is squeezed and folded, like bread being kneaded, the minerals within the rock recrystallize. Schists are formed in the Earth's crust when the underground pressure cooker exceeds 500 degrees centigrade. Limestone, subjected to immense heat and pressure, turns into a rock batter and is baked into marble. Marble dominates the Metamorphic Rock Hall of Fame with some of the world's most impressive buildings. The Greek Parthenon, the Taj Mahal, constructed with a wide variety of marble. Famous marble statues are metamorphic and mesmerizing. Special mention goes to slate, which, via the blackboard, has held more knowledge than any other metamorphic rock. While slate might be considered the rock of knowledge, in Christendom, the rock of steadfast faith supports the city of God. St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican is believed to be built on the Apostle Peter's grave. His name comes from the Greek word Petros, meaning rock. Peter symbolizes the unshifting ground on which the church is built. Rocky shorelines provide seabirds with unshifting breeding grounds. Rockhopper penguins even use small stones to build their nests. The rock wallaby of Australia prefers life on the rocks. A chamois' rock climbing equipment consists of sharp hooves and steady nerves. A rock balanced on a sea otter's belly provides the perfect anvil for cracking open shellfish. For bears, rocky rivers supply food, while rock caves are a haven for hibernation. Igneous means born of fire. The most common igneous rock is granite. All granites are a combination of three minerals: quartz, feldspar and mica. The Earth's rocky interior is predominantly igneous rock and made in two ways. Extrusive rocks such as obsidian form when lava, pushed to the surface, cools. Intrusive rocks solidify within the crust and, like Sugarloaf Mountain in Brazil, are exposed by erosion. The Igneous Rock Hall of Fame contains such famous and fire-born rocks as the Rosetta Stone, made of black basalt. Sri Lanka's 13-meter Buddha, sculpted from local granite. And the hard-headed presidents of Mount Rushmore, carved from the mountain's granite. Some rocks even come from outer space. Canyon Diablo, Arizona. A meteorite weighing 15,000 tons pounded out a crater a kilometer wide. As many as 19,000 meteorites, apple size or bigger, bombard the Earth each year. Not all meteorites have fallen from the sky. Some were carried home by astronauts.
Crystal and rock, I'll depressurize right here. Some rocks? Good deal, boy. That's great.
One meteorite is venerated throughout the Islamic world, the Black Stone in the Kaaba at Mecca. According to tradition, it was given to Adam when he was expelled from the Garden of Eden. Originally white, the stone has been supposedly blackened by the sins of the world. Between black and white lies the brilliant spectrum of gemstones. While gems come in a tremendous variety of size and shape, they've always symbolized clarity, purity and perfection. It's believed jewelry was first worn by the living and the dead to prevent evil spirits from entering the body through the ears, mouth or nose. Jewelry has been found in ceremonial tombs dating back 20,000 years. Gemstones, precious or semi-precious, have always come from a single crystal. The word crystal is derived from the Greek word kyros, meaning icy cold. It was once believed that rock crystal was ice frozen so hard it would never melt. This belief was disproved in a simple experiment. In 1777, it was shown by Robert Boyle that rock crystal, or quartz, could not be ice because whereas ice floats, quartz sinks. What is a crystal then? Just as minerals are the building blocks of rocks, crystals are the building blocks of minerals. All well-formed crystals have certain regular patterns. Parallel edges and parallel faces are their main characteristics. Crystals are all around us. Here's a pile of sugar crystals supported by a mass of silver crystals. We tread on quartz crystals at the beach. We shake salt crystals on our food. Since the vast majority of crystals are microscopic, it's no wonder that the large, well-formed crystals are the ones that catch our eye and stir our imagination. Lapis, used in jewellery for over 6,000 years, was thought to be a bit of blue heaven which had fallen to earth. Turquoise was used as a horse amulet, a charm to protect the horse and rider. Jade and nephrite from China were believed to have life-giving powers. This nephrite and gold funeral suit was made to preserve the body of a Chinese princess. It was the Greeks and Romans who first began gazing into crystal balls and seeing visions in the curtain of mist. Rubies, once known as bloodstones, were worn by Roman gladiators to stop bleeding from wounds. Amethyst, a purple quartz, was considered a charm for remaining sober, no matter how much wine was drunk. There may have been some truth to this. An amethyst goblet allowed servants to add water to their master's wine without being detected. In the 4th century, the church declared precious stones to be fetters of the soul. Those who wore them were excommunicated. Eventually, the church reversed its position. Indeed, amethysts became the traditional stone for bishops' and cardinals' rings. When Lucifer was cast from heaven, the archangel Michael's flaming sword struck his crown and knocked an emerald into the abyss. As legend has it, this heavenly jewel was carved into the cup Christ drank from at the Last Supper. The Holy Grail. Some gems remained unlucky. When the Black Death ravaged Europe, Venetians noticed that opals became brilliant when a wearer caught the disease and dulled when they died. The hardest rock of all is the diamond. The name may come from the Sanskrit word Dayu, a luminous deity. To bring out a gemstone's luster, beauty and colour, it's cut and polished by a jeweller. Diamonds weren't always a girl's best friend. In 1442, Agnes Sorel became the first commoner to break the French law stating that only royalty could wear diamonds. It helped that she was the king's mistress. Napoleon wore the Regent diamond on his sword, believing it would make him unconquerable. He must have gone to Waterloo with a rhinestone. The one mineral that has caused more grief than any other is the great corrupter, gold. The Egyptians were working with gold more than 5,000 years ago. Gold fever is as old as greed itself. From King Midas, whose touch turned everything to gold, to the Spanish conquistadors who looted Central and South America for its gold, to the California gold rush of 1849. The golden Buddha of Bangkok weighs 5.5 tons, enough for 300,000 wedding rings. Gold symbolizes a bright future never to be dimmed by time. Because it won't tarnish, gold has long been associated with eternal life. In Egypt, the honored dead were encased in gold. Gold and diamonds embody the dual character of stone. Diamond for its permanence, gold for its malleable nature. While precious stones adorn us, we've also built our world with the raw materials that nature provides. Rocks and minerals, even the most glamorous, are the workhorses of our daily lives. 80% of diamonds mined serve utilitarian needs: oil drilling bits, quarrying tools, and the cutting edge of scalpels. Mercury, the liquid mineral, tells us the temperature. Aluminium holds our drinks. Graphite fills our pencils. Silicon is used in computer chips. Crystals keep our watches, TVs and radios working. Silver makes our film. The beauty and power of stones has always been in the eye of the beholder. Artists sculpt with them. Hikers climb them. England's coronation chair sits atop the Scottish stone of Scone, symbolising that whoever rules England rules Scotland too. For some, crystals can rule the mind and body with healing powers. In Japan, their earth god, Shizu, is also the guardian angel of children. Stones are placed on his statue to be used as stepping stones by the souls of children who have died and need help crossing the river between this world and the next. In crossing the river of time, rocks, minerals and gems have been the stepping stones of human civilization. And one stone transports us through time and space. It is the jeweled earth, the rock which gives us all the ride of our lives.